Now, if there's one room that's really depleted for Oklahoma, it's got to be the tight end, right? About the same as you would see with the offensive line. Tight end's much worse, right? The numbers that we're returning are super low, but the upside is pretty high. So we're going to dive into them as we're doing our Sooner review for the spring game and see which tight ends we think is going to jump out and jump off the board. So let's dive into that. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up the channel. If y'all like this series, please hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Make sure you share. Why? Because sharing is caring. And so this series for the Oklahoma Room Review for spring practice is sponsored by our partners over at Aura. That way you can defend your information on the interwebs the right way. Let's talk about them real quick and then dive into this tight end room that Joe John Finley has got some work to do on. Let's talk about all of your personal information all over the interwebs. Y'all know about that, right? Have you been getting a ton of spam calls and text messages as of late and trying to figure out why? I know I have. Well, most likely these data brokers out there have sold your information to scammers and spammers and anybody that would see value in your information. Yeah, it kind of makes you feel a little bit uneasy. I know when I did a search of my information, I saw my address, email, all kinds of stuff that had me a little nervous. Not gonna lie. That's why I've been leveraging Aura, our partner and sponsor for this video. Aura can identify data brokers exposing your information on the internet and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Brokers are legally required to remove your information if you ask them to, but it's so difficult to get your information off of the internet. They do that by design, though. Aura also does so much more to protect you and your family. It's really easy to set up, and you don't have to download several different apps to get things like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft insurance, and more. You get everything at one affordable price. Let Aura do all the heavy lifting of protecting you in this big world of the internet like I have. I've been leveraging it for the last few months, and man, the alerts I get on how it's been opting me out of stuff has made me breathe a sigh of relief. You should check it out as well. That way you can focus on what's more important, like college football, recruiting, anything else but your information on the internet. Check out my site, www.aura.com/unfairsports. You can check out the link in the description below or the QR code here on the screen. Let them know that I sent you. So let's take a look at this. All right, Coach Joe John Finley's got some work to do. Luckily, he is a co-offensive coordinator with Seth Luttrell, so I'm sensing we're going to do a lot more with the tight end room. But as I mentioned at the intro, we ain't got much tight end and coming back, right? It's a very limited room, right? So we've got Hampton Frey, you got Josh Fanuel, Kay McIntyre, you still got Caden Helms, who we're hoping is nice and healthy. It seems like he may be progressing well. Brent Venables mentioned that the goal is to get him back out there. So as long as he gets healthy, I think we'll be okay. But the good thing is we're bringing in a freshman, Devon Mitchell, who is very highly touted. And he's one player that I'm pretty excited about seeing. And then you got the transfer in, Bauer Sharp, who we brought in, and he seems to be an athletic freak. We've got a tight end room that may surprise everybody. And then you bring in Jake Roberts, you know, the transfer from Baylor. And so the room has grown pretty quickly, right? Within the last, couple months. We lost Jason Llewellyn, Austin Stockton graduated, Blake Smith decided to transfer out. And we totally understand that. I think Blake Smith was probably the highest snap counter that could have returned with over 430 snaps. 791 snaps on the season. And we were kind of hoping that he, would have been around. But at the same time, we understand what we're working with. So coming season, we are returning 83 total offensive snaps at the tight end position. I know, right? Kay McIntyre still young. So is Helms, who was going through some knee injury stuff. Josh Fanuel's a big project, but he's very athletic. Hampton Frey, heard that he's looking pretty athletic as a former quarterback from Michigan State. He's got something to him. And I didn't mention Hayden Bray, who is still there. And then you bring in Mitchell, Bauer Sharp. Puts you like this. The room is a heck of a lot deeper than it was last season. a lot more players that have played the position and have played pretty well, put up some solid numbers at their places. Now we get to see this in action. So this is where we get to see what Joe John Finley is going to do and what Seth Littrell's offense is going to look like, because we are pushing for some recruits at the tight end position, and they don't want to come here if they don't feel like they don't get used. Can't have them only block. Good thing is, it's a very good problem we have, is because, like I said, we've got some solid people to play, and on top of that, that wide receiver room is stacked. So being able to shift back and forth, man, it's an opportunity to do something special. But I do think, and I'm going to say this, going into spring, I expect to see some Bauer Sharp. I expect to see some K. McIntyre, maybe some Hampton Frey. I think Devon Mitchell will work his way up past the summer into fall camps, and that's where you'll see him shine. Just give him some time. He's young. Remember, he reclassified from the 2025 class into the 2024 class and graduated early. So there's a good chance that he just may, I mean, he came in at like 255 pounds at what, 6'4", 6'5"? So he's not a little dude, you know. So all we got to do is shape him, get him into that college shape, college program, make sure that any bad weight is off of him, and let him, you know, remain chiseled, because I mean, he's a chiseled kid. He's pretty sizing. And so that's where we're going to see what this Littrell offense looks like. Now, we know Littrell leverages tight ends. I mean, Jake Roberts was at North Texas before Seth Littrell got released and came here as our, you know, as an analyst and now offensive coordinator. So Jake leaves, goes to Baylor, and then decides to leave from Baylor and come right back. And so kind of makes sense if you're seeing some North Texas guys, former North Texas guys show up. A lot of them are following Littrell because Littrell was beloved as a coach. And unfortunately, North Texas wanted more. And I totally get it. Good luck to them on that part. But tight end is going to be the most interesting because the competition is going to be hot. Every position's up for battle in the game, on the team in general. I mean, besides probably Jackson Arnold, we think that he is that dude. And the way that, you know, we've seen the ups and downs, we anticipate him being that dude. So I'm not concerned about that. But this room is definitely going to be a very much toss-up, and it's going to depend on who's healthy and who's out there executing on their routes and their blocking, because it's going to be critical. We need to make sure our run game is established. These guys are going to be important on that. So looking at the tight end spot, I'm going to predict that we'll probably see at the starting spot, I think Bauer Sharp's going to walk in and take it. And then you're going to see some, I think K. McIntyre will be right with them, and some Hampton Frey. I'm really hoping Josh Fanuel gets it. I think his big thing is make sure his routes are crisp, because he looks like he's very athletic. And that, you know, he played college basketball, so he's very athletic. We just need to get him going on the route running and the plays. And if he gets it, man, I think he could be a nice little sleeper. But I think Devon Mitchell ends up forcing his way on the field as a freshman, I say, at fall camp. So we'll give him a little time going through the summer and going from that. So that's tight end room. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know your thoughts. How y'all feeling? What y'all thinking? You think that who you think's gonna take that starting spot? Love to hear from you all. Made it this far, you like the content, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Love for you all to join this family of OU, SEC, and college football fans talking ball here, having a good time. So YouTube says check out one of these videos. Got a video here. We also got the playlist. Check it out. All of the room reviews. All of them will be coming down over the next few days. And so we'll talk soon. Peace.